So I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how to get the hand ready by stringing it and adding the elastics. The first thing you'll need are dental elastics. Now I'm using the mauve ones here, which are 6 ounce, and I recommend these for smaller arms for children. You can buy a selection, they're very cheap, you can get them on eBay for a few £. I've already done this hand. If you can't get hold of dental bands, then you might consider using loom bands as an alternative. They're very cheap and easy to acquire. So I've added the bands to this hand, and as you can see I've added them to the fingers, which are looped in a figure of 8 around these 2 pillars. So all those are done, and I've added them to the knuckle pillars. So these will return the fingers. I've done the same for the knuckle, for the thumb as well. So it's ready to go. So the first thing we're going to need is our string. Now we're using 100-pound Dyneema, which is a fishing line. It's a braided fishing line, and it is uncoated. So this is a 0.55mm thick. So the first thing we need to measure out how much string we're going to use. So we're going to need 2 lengths of the arm and a little bit. So let's turn the hand over. Okay. At the tip of the finger here, there is a loop, and we're going to pass our string under the loop, and now we're going to tie 2 knots in it. 1, 2. Now, in the middle section of the finger, there is a channel that runs through the middle of the finger. And we're going to pass the other end of the string now through that channel. I'm going to use tweezers here just to grab the end of it. Now pull it through, and now we're going to drop the end of the string down through the end of the finger, and it'll come out the other side. See that? Just goes straight through. So with the string in place, the finger becomes operational. Now at the top of the hand, hidden underneath here, is the string channel. So we're just going to push the string through, like so. Make sure the string doesn't get tangled or knotted along its way. And then we're going to pass the string through the tube on the forearm. And then it will go down through the hole on the elbow joint. And then if you notice here, there's another hole, and it's got to pass upwards through that hole. Now you might find this easier than I with one hand, but we're going to do it as best we can. Now, because this is the first and second finger we're stringing, then we want the pin that's on the same side as these 2 fingers. So we want the first pin. So we're going to pass string through from the outside. And it's tricky, it's getting jammed by the other pin. Let's see if I can grab it with tweezers. There we go. So now that we've got the first finger strung, we just retrace the path that the string has already taken back down through this hole then up through this hole, and then back down through the tube. Now we find the next hole along in the palm, which will lead to the next finger. And we pass it through this hole. Now this string will go down through the back of the finger here until it comes out the other side, and we pull it tight, and then back through the channel in the middle part of the finger, on the second finger this is now, and then we're going to tie it off on the loop at the end of the finger again. So we're just going to tie this off in 2 knots. So that's the first knot, and now for second knot. So to save time, I've repeated the process for fingers 3 and 4 and run the strings through up to the second pin, back down to finger 4, and as you can see 4 fingers are operational now, and all we need to do is do the thumb, and the thumb is the same process. This time we need 1 length of string, just a little bit longer than the length of the arm. So all that's left to do now is the thumb. So again, we've tied the string to the loop at the end of the thumb. It's passed through the channel in the middle of the thumb, but this time there's a little hole just at the bottom of the thumb, and we're going to pass the string down through that hole, and it should come out at the top of the hand. So if we turn it over, make sure the string doesn't get tangled or knotted. Again, we pass it through the channel, through the hand, and it will come out by the wrist. And we pass it through the tube, follow the same path as the tendons, and tie it to the top pin. So now that the stringing has been done, you can see that all the fingers are working, and it's just a matter of adjusting it for best use, which you can do simply by tightening or loosening the bolts on the pin tensioner. All that's left to do is spot a super glue on each knot, including the knot on the thumb and at the single knot on the top pin. Wait for the super glue to dry and then cut off the excess string. And there's your arm finished and ready to use.